Hey there, welcome to day 83 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Sorry for all the breaks lately. I haven't been able to play as consistently as I normally can. And then I tried to record a game 2 days ago, and then the audio was all messed up, so I didn't upload that one. And then yesterday, with the passing of Daniel Naroditsky, I decided just not to play, and instead I made a post on my YouTube. Some of you may have seen it. Just trying to honor him because I was a big fan, a big follower of his videos and had learned a lot from his content. But yeah, let's go ahead and get ready to play a game here. So I haven't played in I guess I did play 2 days ago, but it was kind of a bad game also. I did not do very well. So I haven't played much in the past few days. And I am down to 1221 because I lost a couple points of Elo from that last game 2 days ago. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into a 15-minute rapid game here. Okay, up against a 1237, and looks like we're gonna get our Carl Khan here. Yeah, advanced variation. Which is normally the type that I tend to like the most. Okay, he's taking a moment to think. I guess maybe he expected something different. I'm not sure. Weird. I don't normally see that. Not sure if I've ever seen that. Maybe I have, but I mean, I don't want to take. Then I just give away this good pawn and he develops his bishop. Do I just still play the same move I typically would play here with e6? Or is there any kind of give check and blocks here? Not sure. It does make it a little weird. I don't think this is like, maybe this is like a legit move. I don't know, I've never really seen it. Okay, let's just play the regular move I would play. I don't think I can go wrong with just supporting that pawn there. And now I have to decide what to take with. Because he does go ahead and take. So I think if I take here, develop the knight, we're still attacking this. He can develop here. Maybe I kick him. But we are going to be in that pin. Otherwise, I take this way. I don't really like that he then can kind of like push this pawn whenever he wants, though. And he'll be able to, I don't know, he just has a lot of space here. I think I'll just take this way. Just have to be cautious about anything here. I mean, if he gives check first, then I'll just block with the knight. But it is a slightly different variation than what I'm used to here. Does it say anything? No, it just says advanced variation in the corner. Alright, now he's taking a little while. I guess, okay, he doesn't go for either of those checks. I thought maybe he would go for one of those and then make me block with the knight. Instead he goes here first. I might just go here. But do I want to move the bishop twice to put him in this pin and then take the knight? I mean, the knight is a big defender here of d4. I think I'll just develop this knight first. Seems like a more principled move. And I guess I could give this check as well. He goes here, I could double up. Does that threaten anything? Maybe there could be some kind of pressure between if I do get the bishop here and the queen is kind of guarding the knight. Okay, now he plays that. Normally people play this move pretty early on. And then we just get the trade there. I think I'm fine with just taking. Otherwise I go here and then, yeah, let's just take. That's what I would typically play. Just keep our game simple here. And then just take the knight out this way and attack d4. Just what I would normally do. If I play knight here and then he goes here, we will be pinned with the knight, but I guess I can move the queen here first. Attack both pawns, and then break the pin. And if he takes, I'll just take back with my bishop, and that seems fine. So yeah, let's go ahead and just bring the knight here. Okay, once I go here, I think he needs, now he can defend with the rook or with the bishop, I guess. Or can he? No, he can't. He can't, because if he defends with the rook, then the queen has to take back against the knight, so it would be knight takes, or does it? I'd have 2 attackers. I guess he would have 3 defenders, so first I need to get a knight here, and then I also need the queen here. So let's go for that. First we get the 2 knights on it. Also, if he moves his bishop away, then this will come with 3 attackers on here and 1 attacker on this pawn as well, with queen b6. I'm still trying to get more used to like naming all the squares, remembering what squares are what. Sometimes it takes me a moment and I have to look at the edge of the board to line it up, but I'm getting more used to a lot of the square names. Okay. So yeah, he's still defending that. He brings a knight to here, which seems a little odd, because he can't really bring it forward here, and he is defending the other knight, but that knight's not really going to be under attack by anything. And it's already defended by the queen and the pawn, although you don't really want to take with this pawn at all, because that's pretty bad for the king's safety. I mean, he could go over here. Is he trying to go here and then here? Maybe. But I could always push this pawn. Well, I guess not if I do play queen b6 and it's in the way. Although I think he actually blocked his ability to defend the pawn. Oh no, he can still defend it with this by jumping the knight over. So if I do attack it, he moves the knight to defend it, and I don't have a way to attack it again. I almost wonder if I should play here and then put my bishop here. Well, no, because it's looking at the wrong pawn. It's not looking at d4, it's looking at e5. Maybe I could play here though, and then I'm 1 move away from going here to prevent the knight from going here. Okay, I'm going to try that first. I'm not sure. I don't want to get too tunnel visioned on this attack, but let's just see what happens if I go here. And then maybe try to get the bishop out and castle in a second here. Okay, he just blocks it with that. I guess that makes sense. I can't play this because nothing's defending that yet. I do have this though now. Attack the queen. We're not threatening a fork here, because there's not a rook on that. But if he does move the rook over, maybe I could be using this as a pathway to try to get a fork. Should I go here first though? Just regardless? I mean, maybe I should. Here. Let's just... Could also put the bishop there. And it can't really be challenged. And his bishop is pretty bad at the moment. Okay, let's just get the bishop. It is pretty active. Okay, yeah, let's put it here. Let's just put it on this pretty active square, and then we're still keeping the knight's pressure on the pawn, which I do like. He is free to move his knight here, though now I can't push my pawn to kick it. And I probably want to get my rook onto the c file. Maybe still get the queen on b6, possibly. Although he's going to be able to defend the pawn pretty easily, so. Right, he does go ahead and move there. Yeah, I think queen b6, because then if he does hop the knight in here, we just take back and win a pawn. We take with the bishop and then the queen. Or I could go queen here. But then he can just go here, and then it seems kind of pointless. So I think queen b6 seems reasonable. It also guards, well, the pawn's already guarded by the bishop, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. And by the rook, but I do plan to move the rook. Oh, and it's guarded by the knight. The pawn is guarded by like everything, so. Alright, so now he does defend that, but this is not a great square for his bishop generally. It's pretty stuck just defending the pawn. So I do like that he's defending that with the bishop. It's kind of tied down to that. We have our 3 attackers, and he has 1, 2, 3 defenders, so he can't, he has the 4th defender. So he didn't even need to move the bishop there, so that seemed kind of unnecessary. And I could just take it here, takes back here, 2 attackers, can't win anything, but I think I will. Will I take that? I think I like just taking it, and it simplifies it a little bit. Unless I'm giving away his weak piece. Am I trading off his weakness by taking this? Could try to go here. And then is there any immediate, not really an immediate threat I can create there. Okay, let's just take here. Takes with the pawn? That's interesting. Okay. Well, now we can't attack d4, but we can attack, what is this, e3? Let's probably just castle. And then try to control the open file, I think. Maybe I'll reroute my knight since this is not a target anymore. Or possibly get the knight to here. Okay, he's threatening to mate right away. So I guess I need to play this. But that's not really a big deal. It's not too weakening because he doesn't have a dark square bishop. So yeah, probably just play this. Is there any other move to defend that? There's this, but then en passant. And then I don't think that does that do anything? I don't think so. If I go here and he takes en passant, then I take back, but then he can just check me here, and then I have to run away, and that does not look good. So yeah, I think just this. And his file is open for the rook, so he does have some pressure on this pawn, so do have to watch out for that. Yes, he wants to bring the queen back this way. Should be probably pretty easy to defend if I want. Also, I like the idea of rerouting the knight here, but if he does push this pawn, and the knight has to move, then it could be an issue. Let me see, here, let's say he pushes some kind of pawn here. Knight could come back to here and defends again, but it's a little weird. Might also just try to trade this knight. So just threaten to take the knight here, and he'll have to do something, and I might just trade it. Let's just do that, because the bishop isn't feeling as useful over here. There's no real targets over this way. So let's try this, and then by the time he tries to do this, I can just take here, and then we still have 2 defenders on the pawn. So he's going to have to do something with the knight. Knight goes back. Seems like it's not in a great square now. Let's just slide my rook over. And do I have a better... I could also go here still with the knight, tempo on the queen. Don't quite have any forks, but it is a pretty active area. I mean, this would be a really nice outpost for my knight on e4. If I could route my knight to that, that would be excellent. I don't see an easy path to it, though. Maybe let's just go here first anyway. It seems like a pretty good square for the knight. Knight's not doing much here. Okay, right there. And I think I prefer the knight here over the bishop. So his queen needs to move. He can't move anywhere over here. Can't move anywhere here. If he goes onto this file, I'll attack with the rook again. So he might just end up going back to here and doubling up this, which does require me to then keep my rook here guarding. Oh wait, but also if my knight moves, I'll have an attack on his knight and the pawn behind it, so that seems like it could be pretty valuable. He's thinking, let me see, I'm thinking queen probably, okay, just goes one back instead of going over here. He's not guarding the knight, but I can't hop into these squares because he is protecting them. I think I'll just bring the rook over and then I am maybe able to hop into one of these squares. Are there any kind of tactics? It feels like we're getting close to tactical potential here with this alignment. I mean, I can't just go here because if he takes back, I can't take his knight. Yeah, I don't think there's any tactics, but it seems like if we keep piling stuff up over here, we could end up getting close to having tactics. Now, which rook do I want to bring? I think this, I think the A rook. This one is kind of blocking my king in, which I'm not a big fan of. But just seems more natural to bring this one over. This pawn is still guarded. So yeah, let's just go here. And then I could potentially slide the rook up to here or the knight to here, since they're nicely coordinated there. And if the knight goes there, then I'm threatening the rook as well as this knight. I guess the rook could come down to here. No, it can't because the knight still threatens that. And I like that his knight is kind of out of the game right now. It's doing almost nothing. And we have some targets here. We have the b2 pawn, we have the e3 pawn. These are disconnected from the main pawn chain. We also have the a4 pawn maybe as a target. If the rook moves, maybe there could end up being some kind of threat on this. Okay, the rook does move. So he is guarding the square now. Thinking take. Can't take over. It can't take over the file though after that because the rook's not guarded. Could go take here. And then we're threatening the queen as well as the knight. I mean, he could guard the knight. But it seems kind of okay. Let's just do that. And I guess he could take with the knight here. And if he guards the knight with the queen after I do that, if he does take with the queen here, then I will be able to reclaim this open file. And then now this pawn is a bit weaker. If I go here, he doesn't have a great way to defend it, does he? Because the queen can't defend it yet, the pawn can't push because the knight's here. I wonder if it could actually be good for him to just take with the knight. It seems like some of his issues could be solved by that. Okay, no, he doesn't go for that. I also could go here, but I don't think that that seems great. Does it? Yeah, probably not. Let's go here. So he's going to want to defend this knight. Actually, yeah, I guess he can go here instead of here. I was thinking he would go here to defend it. And then I would reclaim the file, but if he does just go here, that probably works. Wish I could go out here, but I can't. Okay, it goes down one more. I may have to go back, actually. I have this threat on the rook. No, he can just take that. This doesn't work. I think I do need to just go back, actually. I mean, I could guard the knight. And then bring the queen up and try to trade queens, potentially. And if he does trade, then we get this. It's not quite a pass pawn, but pretty far advanced pawn, which would also kick the knight. Maybe I'll just try that because I don't really want to hop back to here. But then what if he goes like here? And then I'd probably just take. Oh no, then I can take with the knight. So it shouldn't be a problem. He could also go here, but then I think I'd just take again, but then it would fix his pawn structure. Back. Okay, I gotta keep an eye on my time because I'm down to 4.5 minutes or so. back. Also, if I go here, maybe I could push the pawn as well and then slide the rook over with the queen guarding it. But it's a couple moves away. Let's just go here for now. Wait, if I go here and then he takes, I can't take back. I just realized he's double attacking the pawn, so maybe I do need to drop back to block that. I guess I do. Okay, let's just drop back. I totally overlooked that it was being double attacked. Maybe still go here though. Attack the pawn and try to get the queen trade. And if he doesn't trade the queens, then I can get the rook behind. And then that seems pretty nice, actually. Although if I go here right away, he's able to just take this pawn and then take. So I don't want to give him this pawn. So far it seems like we're pretty even, so maybe you just need to play for time and make some solid moves and just let it progress into an endgame or something. There still is tactical potential here, but I don't see a way to actually make anything work yet. But this alignment in this weakish pawn could be targeted. He is taking his time, so that is good. So I might need to go here, which is threatening to kind of infiltrate over this way. And then if I could push the pawn to connect these two, not have to worry about the knight taking this one, that could be nice. Here, take, here, take. Yeah, I don't think I can really do that. This pawn used to be extremely protected, but now it's only protected by the queen. Used to have the knight, the rook, I think the bishop, and the queen all together. So I kind of just assumed it was safe for a while, but now it's a little bit unsafe. Oh, the knight goes back. Okay. Interesting. So in that case, I could go here if I want to. Where's the knight trying to go? It seems weird for him to go that way, because he can't go anywhere. The rook is blocking. Not sure what the goal is there with going that way. Go here. Take. And we can plant this bishop here. Maybe bring the rook here. Okay, that seems interesting. Maybe it could be good. Otherwise I go here, and then I could be threatening to come in this way. Maybe the knight comes here. Or the queen, try to trade queens with the knight guarding here. I don't know. I still really want the knight on this outpost, but he is He is guarding this outpost now, and I don't really have a clear path to it. Okay, let's just go here and just see if he wants the queen trade, because I think that that seems okay for me. Not necessarily amazing, but part of this is going to be just playing to keep my time okay. And then now if he doesn't take, we double up. And then that will look pretty nice. So I think taking probably would make sense for him. If he does take, I think just taking with the pawn makes the most sense. Take with the knight, but no, I don't see any reason to bring the knight back. Just play quickly when we can here. And now I am maybe able to get into this nice outpost. Can also, oh, interesting. He immediately pushes the pawn to prevent that. If I take, his knight can come in. If he takes, I'm fine doing that. Let's go here maybe and attack this. Here. Okay, let's go rook here first. I think I like the rook here. I want to attack this pawn. And I have a way to attack two pawns if I can go here. And if he takes, I'll just take back with this pawn, I guess. I wonder if I should reroute my bishop this way to take this long diagonal. Okay, I guess that's reasonable. The knight is guarded here. I think I'll push this. Actually, wait, no, I can't take that. Don't quite have anything. Yeah, let's. The knight is pinned, so I don't really like that. Yeah, let's just push. Don't want to take too long. I think pushing seems okay. Threatening to take here. So if he takes, I get my bishop on a much better diagonal, and it would come with check. I could also try to use the bishop to cover the rook and then free up the knight. Oh, he takes that way. Okay. I think I'll just... Well, if I take back and then he takes, then I end up with this isolated pawn. Let's just take here. Well, I guess I end up... Well, he has an isolated pawn too. Take, here, here. Then it is a pass pawn. But it's kind of in the center where his king can get pretty easily. But I could also just push the pawn. No, I can't because he guards that. Don't know which way is better. Take. Then I am threatening to push. He could take, and I could take here. I still like getting the bishop there. Okay, let's just take this way. I think I like this. It does still prevent the knight from coming in. So yeah, I will gain a pass pawn. He takes here, and his pawn is not a pass pawn because my f pawn is guarding this square. Alright, I have just under 2 minutes and he has over 3 minutes on the clock. I have this square open for the knight. I need to really be planning what I want to do. If he takes, I'll just take this right away. I think that's pretty straightforward. If he doesn't take, I'll probably will just push right away. Make his rook move. Can't move the knight. Can't do much with the rook. This knight could come into the game. If he goes there, though, I could attack both the knights with the bishop. Okay, no, he just takes. Let's just take. Don't need to think too much. Okay, can I attack here? What does he do to guard? Goes here. But I could attack that. Nah, it doesn't quite work. Okay, I'm thinking I just guard this to move the knight. Let's just do that. Let's just go real quick. Guard that, move the knight. Can take the trade if we want. We'll be lined right back up on this pawn. Which I guess I could have gone here. Attack the knight. Oh wait, I could go there now. He's attacking the pawn, but this is unguarded. Okay, let's just go for this fork. Oh my gosh. Never mind. That was not a fork. That was a blunder. Okay, well, let's just play here. Or I could go here first. You can't block it. Okay, now let's just play with the knight here first. At least we're attacking this. We could win a pawn back, and then the materials +2. It's not completely over. Still have our pass pawn. Yeah, I notice when I'm not playing as much, I definitely have, even if I feel like I think I was mostly playing well during this game, I definitely have a higher frequency of just like actually blundering pieces, because I had that happen just the other day where I blundered a rook when I was in a winning position, and then it ended up being a draw, I think. And then here I just flat out blundered that bishop because the rook was looking at it, so that was pretty bad. Probably will end up losing, but let's see. His time's getting low as well. It's not over completely. Okay, I can take the pawn, but he's going to take mine. Can't give a check. Wait, if he takes that, I have a fork. So let's take. Okay. See, it wasn't over yet. He can take back with his knight, so it's not, I don't completely win the rook outright, but, wait. This is pinned. Is there any, I don't think there's anything I can do. Okay, let's just take, okay, knight's still pinned. Let's probably keep the knight pinned and just go here and attack this pawn. Okay, the knight is able to guard it. Let's just bring the king over to attack. Or is there anything else I can threaten? Can't take. Yeah, let's just bring the king. Try to get to his knight. Okay, let's go here and attack the pawn first. And this knight is not even in the game right now. Okay, now it is. Let's just take. If I give a check, he has to go back. Okay, he gives that check. At least that's not a fork. For a second, I got scared that I thought it could have been a fork. Actually, it is a fork for the pawn. But I thought it was a fork on the rook for a moment. Okay, let's go here. Okay. Probably just come up. Actually, I should still attack this knight. because I might be able to get it, or to get the pawn. Can he defend it again? Knight moves. Okay, let's just try attacking the knight, because I do want to get this pawn, because it's pretty dangerous. The other option would have been going up. Okay, he's going to check again, but now I can fork both of these, right? With the king? Oh, never mind, they're guarding each other. But now if I attack one with the rook, then they're not guarding each other. But then his king can come. No, his king can go here. I could attack. No, I can't attack that one. Okay, it's preventing me from attacking it. Let's just go back to here and just attack this pawn. And then try to attack the knight this way. Okay, pushing the pawn. Let's take here. Okay, I think I can still prevent that if I come back. I think I need to go here. He pushes here. Guess that is maybe not the best. Oh, I could just go check and then down. I think. Check. And then, ooh, I could go here. And then if he pushes here, push, take. No, but then he just promotes immediately. So I think I need to just go here. Or here. No, because the knight watches that. So I might have to give up the rook, actually. Actually, wait, I can just take here. And then I think it's a winning endgame if he takes... No, it's not. I can go here. Can he guard it? Knight versus all the pawns. This here. Can't go here. What was I just thinking of doing? I just blanked. And I thought it was good. Okay, oh yeah, I think this. I'm just gonna go for this. And he can take that way, and then I think I can chase this pawn down. I might just be going for a draw. But if I draw after that terrible bishop blunder earlier, that might be okay. Oh, actually, I didn't realize I can't go there because the knight's watching, but I can go here. Get here. And I have this passed pawn. I could start pushing that in a second. Wait, do I need to move? If he can't come down, knight can move. I think I don't need to move. I think I can push my pawn. Probably. Maybe I'll push this one first and try to make a pass pawn that way, and then I have two immediately, because if I just do this one, it might be a bit worse. If he pushes here, I go here. Okay, let's just try this, and then that. Push here, he needs to take, or just go here. No, because then he takes that one. Okay, let's go like this. Oh, this might actually be interesting. Can he stop that? He could. No, he can't stop that. Okay, let's just try this, because he can't go here right away. He's able to block it like that. So I think he is able to stop. I can go here first, but then he runs away. Yeah, he blocks that. here. So now the knight's stuck. He can't move the knight at all. Otherwise, I should be able to promote. Maybe having the pawns double wasn't the best. Maybe I could have pushed the other pawn first. If I run up here, then he just promotes right away. So I have to keep my king over here. Is there any way to push? Oh, interesting. Here, 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 here. Okay, I'm just gonna go here. Wait, doesn't this work now? Or no? If he takes, oh no, I guess it doesn't. But if he takes that one, then I can push it. This doesn't work because he takes and then it's just blocked. So I think I need to go down here and then up to here. To just stay in the corner. Oh wait, but I can't get stalemated though. Actually, that's going to be a problem. Maybe I need to sack my pawns. Because I need to have a stalemate. But then I think he's winning. Because I don't have stalemate. Which I normally would have in the corner like this. Okay, so now I have to push the pawn. Maybe we can still... Is there a way to get stalemate? Okay, go here. Okay, maybe I get stalemate here, because if the knight moves, I still... No, I still can't promote because he blocks. I don't think I can get stalemate because the knight can stay alive. Actually, I guess it is stalemate. Yeah, no, it is stalemate if he takes the pawn. So if knight here, push, take, that's stalemate. Because then I don't have my pawn and these squares are cut off. Okay, I just want to get a draw. What else can he do? Can't come down. He comes back. Then that's stalemate as well. Because the pawn cannot push. I don't have any legal move right now. Oh, he typed in chat. Yeah, so then I push. And then we get the stalemate. Alright, nice. I'm happy with the stalemate after the blunder earlier. He said, GG's, I think I walked into the stalemate. I suck at endgames. I mean, it seemed like he played pretty well. And yeah, let's go ahead and check the game review. Okay, it looks like we both played pretty well. It looks like he had a big miss there. After my blunder, just judging by the graph, I see he had a huge advantage after my blunder, but then he had a miss and it dropped right back down to even. And I thought he was winning there at the end, but actually no, it was stalemate that whole time. It was a really interesting stalemate because it was the balance between the knight preventing the promotion versus blocking the pawns and then causing a stalemate, or taking the pawn and causing a stalemate because I was able to get in the corner. It says I had 2 blunders. I don't know what my second blunder would be, and I wonder if he missed it. Because I know obviously the bishop blunder, but we both had over 80 accuracy, which if I'm over 80, I'm normally pretty happy with that. 80 is decent. and we had a 1700 game ratings. He had 1750 and a slightly higher 81.8 accuracy. And let's go ahead and go through the moves here. Okay, that is a book move. Yeah, I was so confused by that one. I don't know what that is though. Maybe I need to look it up. Alright, that was best. So we're all good here. It didn't want me to take there. Typically you always take there. But I guess this sequence makes it a bit different. It prefers the knight to immediately come here to e7, and then I guess I would take back if he takes. It wants the bishop check. Let me see, what does it want? The knight comes out, and we have it pinned. Oh, it wants me to just take the knight. Okay, nothing crazy happening there. All is good here. That was a mistake, an inaccuracy, which I had a feeling it was, because he blocked his bishop in, and it was just a weird square to be on. But I guess it was because he was just trying to route over here to guard. Maybe he knew that my objective was basically just focus all my power on this d4 pawn, so he was thinking of any way to get this other knight to defend it, which I guess that makes sense, but the engine doesn't like it though, because it is blocking the bishop and stuff. And it wanted me to just develop the knight here, which I considered doing, but I didn't know what the follow-up would be. Queen comes here, and then what do I do? Queen here. It says minus 0.56 advantage. Okay, let's see if there were any more significant mistakes. So this was an inaccuracy, which I kind of realized later that the knight would have been a lot better on this square than the bishop. The bishop never really did too much on this square, and I just had to move it back later. Knight comes in, we put all our pressure on d4, take the bishop. So far we're winning a little bit here. That was great, yeah, because I think it was just mate if I played anything else. Alright, that was best. I think this move seemed pretty important. I did like the fact we were able to get rid of this knight, and it sent him back to the corner, and he remained there for a long time, which was pretty helpful for our position. It did want him to just defend it, which I considered that if he did do that, then he would just end up with this kind of weaker pawn structure around his king, so maybe we could take advantage of that. But instead he hopped back. Alright, now that's the best move. We get our knight there. Rook comes over, that's good. That was inaccurate of him to take the file with his rook. I wanted him to just guard this pawn. I guess it is concerned about this lineup here. So it wants the rook to just simply guard the pawn behind the knight. Although we never were able to really get a tactic out of that, I don't think. But then taking was inaccurate. It wants me to drop the knight back. I have no idea what dropping this knight back does though. Seems really weird to put it on this square, and I don't see, can't go here. It could go here. Where is it supposed to go? Here and here? I guess the point is simply to attack. It's not about the knight. It's just simply to open up the queen. But if he takes, I mean, I have a nice advantage here apparently. 1.6. I take queen guards here. Oh yeah, because now we end up with control of the file, so the queen can't guard from the more aggressive squares. Ooh, and then I can attack this pawn. Oh, that's pretty nice. That's so tricky to see all that ahead of time though. So at this moment, I should have seen that dropping back first is better instead of taking. My idea was that he takes, or I take, he takes, and then I threaten this, and that he would go back, and then once he went back I would reclaim the open file with my other rook. But because this move, Queen D1 was not forced, he was able to guard because the file was not taken on other squares. The idea didn't really work at all. But if I drop back first, knight's under attack, so he kind of needs to take, and then he guards the knight. In that case, he is forced to go back to D1, which is good for me. So it's the same idea I had, it's just an actual forcing way to get there. Yeah, that was kind of pointless. We just jumped the knight back and forth. Get the queen trade. And we have a nice advantage, 1.2, nothing crazy, but pretty good. That was a mistake. Oh, so here's my miss. Pushing was a miss. Why does it want me to take? I didn't want to just bring his knight out like that. Let me see what happens here. Take. Wait. Huh? Why can't you just take? You can. Then I go here, attack this weak pawn. And I guess he doesn't have a way to defend that. Couldn't he defend? No, he can't defend there because the knight guards. So he wants to go here and here, but it's too late. It's already under attack. Okay, so taking first was better. I just didn't think much past beyond, okay, it looks like we're just going to activate his knight. I guess the fact that we create this target and he can't defend it is what matters. So that was the miss. Take back, that was the best way to take back. He takes back. I take with check, and now I liked this position. I felt pretty good here. Although it says we're drawing. And then, of course, we blundered right here. Oh yeah, then he blundered that fork right here. Which, I saw this very quickly, I think, and I wanted to play fast so he didn't think that so that he didn't take his time and wonder if I found something. So he was just focused on this pawn. He thought, okay, I take, and then he takes. But we did have that nice fork in there right after my blunder. He blundered that. And then I did like this as well because we're pinning the knight, so his knight's kind of out of the game. Trade that off, and now we're back to almost even material, and the game's pretty even. He defends his pawn, bring the king over. I do want to know what happened here. Okay, winning the pawn was good, now we're even material. Goes for the check, and he takes my pawn. I want to know what I should have done with the king. Did I do the right thing here? Okay, that was good. It wanted me to go to the next pawn, but it says excellent still. And that was a mistake because he's able to push. That was inaccurate. It wanted me to check. Oh, it wants to check here and then... No, I can't go there. Oh, if I go check here... His knight's still guarded by the other knight. Is there a way to win the knight? No, I don't think so. What is the check? He does come up. But I still can't attack here. Then it wants another check. 2 checks. Still can't go here. Then I go here. So this was actually pretty bad. I wasn't that scared of it because I just thought that it would be fairly easy to get the rook to guard, but it was kind of overlooking that the key square is already covered by the knight. So I'd have to, by the time I go 1, he goes down, and then I go here, and then I'm going to have to sack the rook at some point. So let's go back. We played this. That was a great move by him. This check was not good. This was a blunder. I mean, I didn't know what else to do. I felt like if I just sacked the rook, then I could try to chase this pawn real quick, but I kind of overlooked that this key square was already covered by the knight because I wanted to just get here right away. And then it would be hard for him to guard, but yeah, overlooked that. Was trying to play pretty quick here because my time was low as usual. Tend to get my time way too low. But it's okay. This is where he was completely winning, but it's okay. So it was winning for him until, let me see, which moment was it? There we get the double pawns. Yeah, I didn't know if I should just push, but I guess either way, either way, only one pawn is actually useful. Alright, that was great. And then that was his mistake. I mean, that's a really easy mistake to make. And then here's my miss. I wanted me to go back first. I kind of miscalculated this. I thought if he goes there, if I'm here and he goes there, then I just assumed he would just take this pawn and then I can run. But he didn't have to take the pawn, so that was the miss, and he preferred me just going down here. If I go down, he comes here. Then do I just go over? And then we're almost getting into stalemate. once again. The knight moves. I mean, this is... I do have this square for now. So then what does he play? Let's play this. That's best. It still says we're drawing though, so there's some way to stalemate for me here. Alright. So that was the big mistake by him, but honestly I don't know, it's really hard to see why that was so bad. You'd have to calculate a decent amount, because it seems obvious you just block the pawns and there's nothing that they can do, but because of over here, the stalemate potential, the pawns are actually really important. My ability to push the pawns is very important, so I don't get stalemated. What should he have played, actually? Oh, it just wants king over. So keep the knight here, only take it if I push, instead of blocking, and then king comes over, and then you just use the king, maybe, to chase these. But then I take this, so that doesn't work. Let me just see what it says for the follow-up. King over, show follow-up. Will it show me more moves? Okay, it only shows that far. I was curious what the whole endgame would look like, but it's not showing me that much of it. So here, now, we have our draw. In fact, okay, no, I thought it said I was winning for a sec, but no, it's just a draw. And then that was forced, and then that was forced, and then we get our draw. And then, yeah, he realized there and he sent a message, but he was friendly. He said GG. So yeah, that was interesting. I think I probably would have had a good chance of winning. I mean, we were pretty even until my blunder. But yeah, I gotta stop doing these major blunders. Normally I don't do them that often, but since I haven't been able to play as much, I've had a lot going on in the past week and a half, 2 weeks. I've not been able to play as much, and I'm just a little rustier. I think on my normal calculations, I'm not too bad, but I'm just rusty when it comes to actually seeing obvious threats, and I've been blundering a little bit more than usual. Just straight up hanging pieces, not blundering a tactic or something. So that's probably the main thing I need to work on, but at least we preserved our 1221 here. So we're still pretty close to a new all-time high, which I think my high was 1234 before. So yeah, this has been day 83. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on day 84.